Hi guys, happy Homebrew Wednesday number 17 for January 8th, 2014. Just drinking a little bit of the cranberry spice wine. I'm drinking it cold this time. It's good cold or hot. Okay, so I got a little bit of footage of some updates of some things I did this week, so I'll let you guys check them out. Here they are. Okay, so here's our chocolate covered cherry wine. I'm going to go ahead and take a sample of that. And we're at about 1.000 on that guy, so it's fermented out. So we're going to go ahead and rack it. Still got a bunch of sediment in it, so we're going to go ahead and rack it to another carboy. So I got my carboy sanitized there. Go ahead and stick this down in there. Get this down in here. Start it siphoning out. They did pour me off a little bit of a sample of that. It's definitely got that pow of the new alcohol in it, but there is a little bit of the hint of the chocolate after. I think after we back sweeten this and everything, it'll be really good. Okay, so we got our chocolate cherry wine racked. We're going to go ahead and add 1/4 teaspoon of potassium metabisulfite to it. Actually, you only need about 1/8 teaspoon. That in there, and then we're going to do 1/2 teaspoon of potassium sorbate to stabilize it. Put that in there. And we'll shake it up. And this is so we can back sweeten it. But it's still murky, so we're going to let it settle for a couple more weeks. And then we'll just put our sterilized airlock back on there. And then we'll just let it sit for a couple weeks. Okay, so we're going to add 1 quart of water. And to that, we're going to add 12 cinnamon sticks. Then once you get all that in there, you're going to cover the pot with a tight fitting lid. And we're going to turn that on, and we're going to bring it up and let it simmer for 10 minutes. Okay, and then once it's steeped for 10 minutes, we're just going to remove that from the burner, and we're going to let it sit for 2 hours covered. So we'll be back after that. Okay, so we've got a bucket here and a strainer. We're going to go ahead and strain this now that we've let it sit for 2 hours. So we'll go ahead and take the lid off here, and we'll dump it in there. Now we're going to get some water and put in our pan. We're going to add approximately 3 quarts of water here. Okay. And then we're going to add 5 cups of sugar to that, which is roughly 2 pounds of sugar, and make like a simple syrup, and then we're going to add that to our cinnamon broth here. We'll go ahead and add the 5 cups of sugar here. Okay, and then we're just going to stir this. Get this in the sanitizer here. I'm just going to stir this up until the sugar's all dissolved. Okay, so while we're waiting for that sugar water to get done, we're going to go ahead and add what we need to add to the bucket here. So, teaspoon of yeast nutrient, and we're going to add 1/8 of a teaspoon of wine tannin, and 3 teaspoons of acid blend. And then we'll go ahead and mix that in good. And I'm just going to go ahead and strain our sugar water over the cinnamon sticks just to try and get some more flavor out of them. Try and get all the flavor we can out of them. Then we'll let that drip all the way out, and then we'll stir it up. Okay, now we got it all mixed up. As you can see, it's hot, so we're going to cover this up with a towel and let it cool. Go ahead and take a hydrometer reading here. See where we're at. Looks like we're at 1.095, which is potential of 12.5% alcohol, so that's plenty. We'll just leave it right there. Okay, so we're going to add 1 crushed Camden tablet. So I just take it and crush it in between 2 spoons. Just like that. And we'll dump that into our carboy. Okay, so we got it cooled down. It's cooled down to about 100. So we're going to go ahead and pour it into our carboy. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and put our bung and our airlock on it. More sanitizer in here. And we'll just let this sit until tomorrow morning, and then we'll pitch our yeast. Okay, Okay, so we're ready to pitch our yeast in the cinnamon wine. We're going to use a Red Star Montrachet yeast. So we're going to use about half the packet. So let's go ahead and pull the airlock off. Okay, I went ahead and cut the top off. And we're just going to dump about half the packet in here. We'll call that good. Then I sprayed the airlock with a little bit more sanitizer just in case. We'll kind of shake it just a hair to get it going in there. And there she goes. We'll check back in a day or so and see how she's doing. Here's the cinnamon wine starting to ferment. This is the couple of days later. Okay, so the chocolate covered cherry wine, it's done fermenting out. We're just going to let it sit and clear for a while, let it age a little bit, and then we'll back sweeten it. And the cinnamon wine, it's just fermenting away. It's still under the bubble, it's just bubbling away. So that'll probably be sitting for another month or so. And I'll keep you guys updated on those. That's really about all I have this week. So until next week or till the next video, cheers.